Wow, this chapter was a gem to read, as we meet Haru's girlfriend, and even got a Taiki and Chainatsu moment in where they looked like a little family while helping that lost child. A brilliant way to start off 2022. Hello everyone and welcome to the Anime Zillia, and today let's talk about chapter 35 of the Blue Box manga series. A great chapter that develops Chainatsu, our main female lead, plus we also get introduced to a really new cool character in the form of Karen, as we continue through the fireworks festival. So let's start off by talking about Chainatsu, as her character confirmed the fact that she does indeed have feelings for Taiki. This comes in the form of her flashback conversation between herself and Karen. As a side note, this chapter also helps to explain why Haru and Chainatsu were together in that chapter way back when Hina and Taiki saw them out in public and got the wrong idea. Simply because Chainatsu and Karen are said to be best friends, so the fact that she was out with Haru helping him pick out a present for Karen makes complete sense now that we get to see her in the flesh. Now then, when Taiki and Chainatsu and Karen first meet, things seem a little bit frightening for Chainatsu, especially when her friend starts saying, "You're for Taiki, no matter." This part of the chapter I loved for a few reasons. Firstly, this shows the friendship between Chainatsu and Karen, being the fact that Chainatsu and Taiki agreed not to let anyone know about Chainatsu's living situation, because it might cause some issues at school. However, Karen still knows about Taiki, and after reading this chapter, we also know that Karen knows about Chainatsu's living situation. This was confirmed to us with that flashback. Now, of course, Karen was really smart here in deflecting what she said about Taiki and being surprised about meeting him by basically explaining she knows about him through Haru, which you could actually say makes a lot of sense until you read the ending flashback segment in this chapter. The second thing this part of the chapter highlights is the small piece of emotion displayed by Chainatsu, as her expression told 1,000 words. And finally, this segment makes Karen be displayed in a very positive and welcoming light. Throughout the conversation, I thought she was presented as being fun, lively, intriguing as well. Plus, she's very smart. Seeing her friend's expressions, she notices what she said and basically thought she was stepping out of line with the way she was talking to Taiki, and used her intuition to make a lie about Haru, saying that Taiki has grit, as an excuse to how she knows about Taiki. Overall, Karen, I thought, was a great addition to this chapter and a fantastic character. I really also liked the small display of relationship that we got to see between Karen and Haru. That was a bit of wholesomeness. So then, sticking with Chainatsu's character, the ending of this chapter does have me a little bit worried for our main female. After all, we get teased about her wearing a yukata. But now, sticking with Chainatsu, this chapter's ending does have me a little bit worried for our main female protagonist. After all, we get teased about her wearing a yukata. Now, I'd love to see this, it would be absolutely amazing. However, I have been saying throughout the Fireworks Festival chapters that we might see a sad moment for Hina, because obviously she would see Taiki and Chainatsu together, thus getting upset. Now, after reading this chapter, I think it's more likely that Chainatsu might be the one to get upset after seeing Hina and Taiki together at this festival, even if they are both surrounded by other guys. Of course, those other guys forced themselves onto Hina and Taiki's date. They inserted themselves at that particular location because they wanted to sit down. Now, I do have to say as a side note, those guys forcing Hina in allowing them to sit with them was downright scummy. I hate people that do that. No one should try and insert themselves into another person's location or plans, regardless if they're friends or not. Honestly, those guys are douchebags. So China Su might actually step out of her comfort zone, and with the assistance of this lost child and that child's mother, I can see China Su wearing a yukata and going off searching for Taiki. Acting a little bit bold in the process. Because she too also states in the chapter that she doesn't think she would suit a yukata. In fact, the outfit that China Su feels most comfortable in and wants to look the most cool in is her basketball uniform. Now this again, I love this piece of information because it does make her seem a little bit childish, but at the same time it gives her a bit of uniqueness and a bit of a quirk, which I'm not opposed to. China Su really does come across quite positively in this chapter, but at the same time I am a little bit worried, like I said. The cover image of China Su looks absolutely stunning. It looks beautiful. So I hope we do get to see that stunning visual within the manga chapter. Now returning to the segment where Hina encounters those guys from her school. This segment could help give credit to the idea of China Su seeing Hina and Taiki together, because Taiki would need to return to Hina, and then when he does, he'll see the other people there. Either Taiki or Hina would ask to go somewhere else, making the two of them alone once again, this time just walking around the festival having a bit of fun, thus leading us to a scenario where China Su happily walks out in a yukata and sees them both together. That's what I'm basically proposing here. A little prediction, if you will. And finally, let's talk about Taiki, because this idiot knows no bounds, and I understand he wants to spend time with China Su, but the way he forces himself into helping her, even when China Su said she was fine, was in my opinion idiotic, and had the whole fanbase screaming at him to return to Hina. Taiki, you're on a date / out with your friends. Hina is waiting for you to return because she's lonely and uncomfortable thanks to those guys inserting themselves into her seating area. Stop being a donkey and return to Hina. Of course, Taiki even, isn't aware that Hina is uncomfortable and there are now people sitting with Hina, but still, Taiki should go back to her ASAP. Even after they get to the tent, and Taiki is still continuing to insert himself by helping out when it's pointless to do so. He's gone off looking for the mother, when there is no reason for him to, because they're going to make an announcement saying that the lost child is at the lost and found tent. She'll hear that and come running to find her child. This too makes Taiki seem really scummy, because he's putting the feelings of Hina and the fact that he's with a friend to one side, and making Hina feel less important in the grand scheme of things in his own eyes and opinion, because he now has time to spend with China Su. Taiki, screw your head on great, and Taiki, screw your head on correctly, and just go back to the girl you came here with. Overall, I really do like this chapter, as again, it introduces us to a really cool new character in the form of Karen, plus we also get some well-needed focus for China Su, which goes a long way in making her feelings seem more complex and deeper than we first initially thought. I'm interested to see where it's going to go moving forward, so hopefully in the next chapter we expand a little bit more on that. Also, this chapter just has a good feeling of importance in the grand scheme of things and doesn't feel like a filler chapter while we're at the Fireworks Festival, thanks to the new characters, thanks to the China Su development and progress emotionally. So for that, I do appreciate it. Also, did anyone else see that Shonen Jump banner where everyone was turned to tofu? That was so wholesome and deliciously cute. Look at little China Su there being a piece of tofu. So let me know your thoughts on this chapter in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And of course, I'll be seeing you next time. Have a great day. Alligator, matane. Goodbye.